Hello, students. I'm making this, it's first weekend in October, and this skeleton right here, right there, whatever, that skeleton, we call him Scully. He's always hanging on our back porch. We got that wooden skeleton, I think someplace in Mexico, maybe it was Tijuana years ago. My wife did a tremendous job bargaining. She's very good when it comes to bargaining. And Scully is weighed down with Mardi Gras beads, just a nod to my Cajun heritage. Anyway, but because, it's October, you got to get in the Halloween spirit. Okay, I'm making this update to talk about some of the responses that people had to the movie Absence of Malice. The female star of that film, Sally Fields, that's airplane noise, I'm sorry. The female star, Sally Fields, very famous actress. And then Gallagher, Michael Gallagher, was played by Paul Newman. You may know of Newman's Own Salad Dressing, but Paul Newman is actually a very famous actor, was very famous in the 70s and 1980s. And also the guy who played Rosen, that whatever his job was, head of the strike force, Bob Balaban. I like that actor a lot too. He's in a lot of the films by Christopher Guest. And I think Bob Balaban is a great actor. He's from the same family that started the Balaban and Katz chain of movie theaters, a famous chain of movie theaters in Chicago. And I think Bob Balaban's grandfather or great-grandfather or something was a vice president at MGM movie studio. So he's got a big Hollywood history. Anyway, enough of that. There's a lot of issues in the film that relate to JMS 494, and you guys picked up on it. I mean, it's pretty clear. There's issues of privacy, private information. We've got like undercover or secret recording. We've got wiretapping of someone's phone. But the big issue is really, as the title of the film suggests, is about libel or defamation. Is Michael Gallagher a public figure? Is he a public figure merely because he's been accused of a crime? That's kind of circular logic, that he's accused of a crime, therefore he's a public figure, therefore we can say whatever we want about him. So that's definitely a gray area. But really the big issue of the movie, to me, the central issue is revealing that information about Teresa Perone, the woman whose abortion is revealed and she ends up committing suicide. That was clearly wrong, I think, to reveal that information. I don't think it was relevant necessarily. And a really good reporter, an astute reporter, could have probably verified that information maybe through some other way. Maybe there was hotel records or some other way. Once you have that little tidbit of information, maybe you could have verified it with some other way without revealing this woman's name and causing her ultimately to commit suicide. And I just pulled a couple of quotes or a couple of comments from the discussion board. Overall, it seems like people like the movie. Philip Diana wrote that sometimes seeing something visually unfold is better than just reading about it. So he thought he could kind of understand, the issues of libel and malice and some ethical issues by watching the movie rather than just reading about it. Eva wrote that, Eva picked up something good. She quotes from the film, during the unofficial official meeting concerning Gallagher's affairs, Carter contemplates the rules of a journalist, saying, I keep thinking there must be some rules to tell me what to do. She knows what not to do as a journalist, that reporting leaked information based on someone's malice is illegal. However, the SPJ Code of Ethics is just general guidelines. It's not an absolute set of rules because every situation is unique. And anyway, I like what Eva wrote. Good job on that. And then Sarah had a very strong opinion. Sarah came out and says, first off, I want to talk about how Sally Fields, that's Megan Carter, is a disgrace to her profession. She allows the facts of the secret investigation to be leaked to her. Then she publishes an unattributed story and gets personally involved with the investigation. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. The whole sleeping with the subject of your story, like that just was like, no, that's clearly unethical. And yeah, Sarah mentions the suicide as well. Okay, so thank you for your comments. There's going to be 2 more movies later in the semester that you will watch. Hopefully you like those as well. I mentioned that, the reporter could have verified that story some other way. And then I also want to say that Megan Carter should not have believed the information that was leaked to her about Michael Gallagher being under investigation. Just because you are getting information from an official source, a quote unquote official source, like, you know, someone in the police department or someone in law enforcement, that doesn't mean they're telling the truth. They may have their own biases as well. Okay. So I think there's some important takeaways from the movie. Coming up this week, the topic is PR ethics. Now, that's not in the textbook, okay? And I taught this course once over the past summer, and I realized that there's really nothing that talks specifically about PR in the textbook. And many students in JMS are interested in public relations. That's, you know, probably our most popular major, I believe. And we really have a very, very, very strong PR department, I would say that. So I had two people who teach PR for us. Patrick Thielen, he's an assistant professor. He's teaching a couple of public relations courses, including principles of public relations. And he made a short video lecture about the issue of paying for reviews online. You know, companies will hire agencies to put false reviews online and boost the star rating on Yelp or something. So take a look at that lecture. And then there's one from Elizabeth Pekshi. She has had a long career, professional career, working in public relations, and now she teaches for us. It was actually a podcast that she did, and I took 13 minutes of the podcast where she talks about various ethical issues related to public relations. And I know, you know, the visuals are not much. It's just basically, you know, staring at a screen while you listen to audio. But I learned something from it. And if you're interested in journalism, I think you can learn something from it. And heck, even if you're interested in advertising, you can learn something about it, because you can learn the way media works. And PR and journalism have this kind of symbiotic relationship where public relations practitioners put out like press releases or information subsidies, as we call them, and then the journalists often pick them up. But there's like this, it's a collaborative, mutually beneficial relationship, but journalists have to be skeptical about the information that they're getting. And then PR people also have their own limits about what they can say and what they can release. So anyway, watch those two video lectures. There's no reading. Okay, and that's the update for this week.